Welcome to Poppers and Popcorn, the podcast that does we do stuff about gays and movies. And
Yeah,
I neglected. I got rid of my intro, and now I don't know if we have one.
Wait, why'd you get rid of it?
Because I kept hearing it, and I was like, "This is bad."
It's a little obnoxious, right? That's how you felt. You felt it was a little bit obnoxious. I think it was a little tiny bit obnoxious.
Whatever. We'll come up with a new one at some point that will stick, and in the meantime I will fumble my way through every tiny little intro.
It's also really funny because I've always made fun of YouTubers and things like that who have stupid intros that they say or those stupid fucking taglines. I remember there was this one guy who I used to watch on YouTube, and his thing was where we aspire similar connections despite our differences, and I was like, what the
that's dumb.
I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? I was like,
you
literally do
podcast.
Bad Girls Club reviews. It's you get up in drag and you do Bad Girls Club reviews. What similar what differences are the people who are watching this? What do they have? Yeah, it was they used to be really good until Bad Girls Club got canceled. So
Josh, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. So it was really funny. I wasn't dreading it, but I kind of didn't want to go.
Where do you do Thanksgiving?
We do it up in all my family lives here, so we do it up in Westchester with my family.
Okay.
It's not that I didn't want to go. It was just I was just oh, I don't know how I'm gonna sit through these people. I love them. I really like them.
Right,
they're cool, but also at the same time, I was there's other things I could be doing.
Right.
But I got there, I opened the door, and I thought I came home from war or something with the way people were embracing me, and I was really? Is this what it's... Well, also because my family, they're the kind of people who, they throw dinners for everything.
Okay.
The most minute things.
Okay.
Somebody can, graduate preschool, there's a family dinner for
There's
it.
a family dinner.
So if this
cute,
kid...
though.
I was yeah, but we're, promoting mediocrity now.
Yeah.
No, but, I guess I hadn't been to, a family event in forever, so...
Because you're busy.
I just don't show up. So... I'm gonna be honest with you. No, I love them though, but I came, it was a really good time. I had a really fun time with my family, and it kind of reminded me how much I actually love these people.
That's fun.
And how I should actually show up to things more.
Because
nice. Any second you could die.
That's true, or they could die.
Yeah, but that's not about me.
More likely.
That's true. How about you? How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. It was really, really busy because a lot of my family was going away elsewhere, and then so we had to combine Christmas and Thanksgiving a little bit this year, and it was a lot. It was a lot to fit into 2 days, and it was kind of busy, and I'm still very tired.
Wait! You combined Christmas and Thanksgiving?
So we did Thanksgiving on Thursday. We did Christmas on Friday. So we're doing Christmas again. Me and my parents and my grandpa are doing Christmas again, but all my cousins and aunts and uncles are going on a different Christmas vacation.
So everyone got their gifts on Friday.
Kind of.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
But no, it was. I mean, it was fun. It was just a lot of I actually cooked for the first time for my family, and I love to cook. But for the first time for my family, and I got very good reviews.
Oh,
so
they were all oh, this is so good. It's yummy.
Yeah. I mean, they exaggerate everything, but
they were thank God you're a homosexual.
Most of the extended family is unaware.
We are so happy that you're gay because you could cook. Thank God for this homosexual meal. They were oh my God, so gay, so yummy.
It wasn't that gay of a meal, except there was white wine and fish, fish is good for sex, and white wine is good for
fish
gay.
Is good for sex?
Well, not it's good for bottoming. It's good for pretty bottoming. It's healthy, and it gets your stuff moving.
Fish gets you to shit?
Not gets you to shit, but it's
I thought that was healthy. Fiber. I thought that's why everybody ate oatmeal.
Fish is fish is the best kind of meat to if you need protein and you're gonna bottom fish. Do fish.
Really? That's a thing?
I don't have the science to back this up. I should make this clear.
You're the first person I've ever heard say that in my 25 years of life.
Yeah? Well, I've had 27 years of life. It must be coming up.
That's true. There was that extra 2 that you could have learned a thing or 3. You're right.
So what's the gayest thing that happened to you on Thanksgiving week?
Oh my God. The gayest thing that happened to me, I'm super duper excited. So this also comes with a little bit of a backstory, but whatever. Mm-hmm. So when I was the year's 2007,
Oh my god. Every story.
Fade in 2007.
Every story.
A young me is scrolling through like okay, so like what I used to do is because I went to like a really Christian school or whatever, and like I was like a little child fudge packer.
What?
And, like, that's a term for homosexual. That's the term for gay. You may not know it's a derogatory, but
it's barely derogatory at this point.
Yeah, it just makes me sound like Willy Wonka. But I used to like scour through like it wasn't even like I was like looking to like blow people. Like I wasn't like this little like 13-year-old like sex addict. It was just like I was just like looking for other gays because like I knew who I was. Like I got a firm grasp of what I was into.
Oh, yeah?
But like there wasn't like anybody who like around me who was like the same, except for like this one kid, but like he was a total fucking weirdo, and I was just like, I'm not hanging out with him. So like I used to like scour on MySpace. Remember when MySpace used to put like interested in, and like you could either put men or I used to just type in like I used to like you could search by the tab on people who were interested in men, so I did. I used to, and like I remember I was like scouring. There had to be over like 400 or so profiles per page.
Gosh. What's the gayest thing that happened to you?
I'm telling you, no. It's all culminating. It's all culminating into one thing. So I remember I went on this one dude's page, and then he had a music video by this artist named Johnny McGovern, who also goes by the name Gay Pimp, and it was this song. The first video I ever saw from him was a song called "Soccer Practice," which was like still one of the gayest songs I've ever heard in my life. Mm-hmm. And then the second, and like I remember I used to like go back on the same page over and over because I used to just watch that music video over and over. Then like every so often when a new video would drop, he'd like post that video. Like the dude would, like this random guy. I don't know who that guy is. I've never spoken to him. I used to just sit on his page like a stalker, like come home from school and like watch these music videos. And like they were just like so cool to me. And it was like such like a really fun like little gay experience in my life. So the other day I got like really introspective because I was listening to one of Johnny's albums called Gays Gone Wild. And I was just like listening to it. Also, if you really want like real faggoty gay ass music, like yeah, I mean he has a song called Dick Swang Out, which is one of his best songs. He has Girl I Fucked Your Boyfriend, I Saw Your Cock on Craigslist. Like just great songs about real life things.
I was so closeted in 2007 that I probably just had like no idea what.
Well, he still makes music currently.
Okay,
he also like
I haven't like heard of it.
He runs like a YouTube channel called Hey Queen. He runs a channel where it's just pretty much a talk show where he talks to drag queens and people in the gay, like just like gay people. He just talks to them.
That's
so fine. I got really introspective and like I kind of like tweeted him like a psycho. It wasn't even like tweeting him. I kind of was just like writing introspectively like my experience.
On Twitter?
Yeah, on Twitter, and I got really happy. And then like he liked 4 of the tweets and then he sent me a message. Yeah, it's really emotional. His message is like, thank you for the sweet tweets. It is very gratifying to hear that what I do was able to help you in some way and help you accept yourself more fully. Send you lots of love. Love, Jay. And like,
aww.
I felt like meant the fucking world to me because like this guy is somebody who like, he's not like in the word fame, he's not like this A-list famous person, but like in my mind, he sort of is because like to me, he was like gay fame. Like the reason why he started making music was because he didn't like people like Eminem who were like making homophobic lyrics.
Yeah.
And he was like, fuck that. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to make extremely gay ass lyrics so that like there isn't like a crowd of people growing up in the same way he did. Like to me, that was like something that was so powerful and so amazing to do.
That's so interesting.
And the fact that he did it to me it resonates with me even as an adult. Like, I mean, this is over like 13 years later, I'm still a huge fan of this guy. And like him reaching out to me was something that I thought was so beautiful and so amazing. And like that was just my gayest thing this week is also like me fangirling. So
that's great. I love like little experiences like that.
Yeah, you see, this is why you needed the whole story.
You're right. I needed the whole story.
You needed the whole story.
I'll stop questioning you at some point.
Notice that every time I tell a story, you need it because once you get to the end, you're like, oh, what a journey! I loved it.
Take me. It's always good. It's always good.
Okay, so what's the gayest thing that happened to you this week?
So on Black Friday, my cousin, my 2 aunts, and I went out shopping. Why are you already laughing at me?
Black Friday. I just was like, oh, you fucked the black dude.
Well, I mean, most Fridays. Every Friday that isn't Black Friday.
Oh, okay. So this Black Friday was a white Friday.
But on actual like straight hetero Black Friday, I went to the mall with my cousin and my mom and my aunt. Mm-hmm. And my cousin and I split off at one point. It was like 8 in the fucking morning. And we're in Victoria's Secret and there's like a 5 for like 5 for $30 underwear deal. So I found these like really sparkly black underwear that I was like, oh wait, I really want these for me. And my cousin was like picking them up. I was like, girl, can I throw some in your stash? And she let me. And it was like a little transcendent moment for like a family, somebody who's blood related to me and I. She like bought me women's underwear for me to like, you know, strut around in.
Yeah, walk around it when you go to work.
I'm so pumped. I'm so excited.
Do they fit you? Like, I just feel like they're like meant for smaller frames.
I have not honestly had time to
I mean, you're a slim man, so I guess maybe.
I got the medium. I figure
you have
like
the frame of like a tennis playing Russian woman.
What?
Like your bodily frame would be like a tennis playing Russian woman, so Victoria's Secret probably makes clothes for them. So I think you're fine on that one.
Maybe. Josh just described me in a way that I don't know whether that was accurate or not.
Because, like, they're tall. That's it. So
they're tall and that's it. They're tall and white, which is, yes, okay, fine. That is me, but...
I mean, just, like, look at, like, tennis players' builds are very... I'm just, like, saying, like...
Tennis players are very, like, petite, I feel.
Look at Serena Williams. She's a fucking goddess.
Oh, my God. Venus Williams was in our office last week.
Didn't she kill a guy, like, 2 months ago?
Did she? What?
Yeah, like in a car accident. Like, she pulled a Brandy, I think.
I don't know. I'm
Brandy
unaware of that.
Okay.
However, when she walked in the office, she's like a tree. She is so tall.
Yeah. They're tall and stacked.
You're right. Fine.
Yeah, I don't feel like any athletes are like. There's not a lot of sports that allow little people to like.
Horse riding, horse racing. The jockeys are like they're like little hobbits.
Yeah. Oh, that was a nice
they're
one.
Hobbits.
Well, that's a great segue. What's your news item?
What's my news item? Well, like The Force Awakens did several years ago, Disney dropped another major anticipated trailer for a movie on Thanksgiving Day.
Force Awakens dropped on Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I think so. Maybe it was the day after. Maybe it was Black Friday.
Maybe it was Black Friday. I don't remember when. Oh, I remember how good the Force Awakens trailer was.
Oh, that first trailer? No, I know.
Oh my God. I remember that.
But anyway, the trailer that they released this year was The Lion King.
Okay, yeah.
The Lion King with Donald Glover voicing Simba, James Earl Jones returning as
I'm just so upset that you didn't build this in the correct order. But okay, keep going.
Beyonce as Nala.
That's who should have been first, but whatever.
We'll see how big of a role she has. Nala doesn't have that big of a role in the original. Okay. Besides, like, being, like, the girl lion.
You know for a fact they're going to create a whole Nala subplot because they got Beyonce.
I hope so. I mean, I'm here for it. Like, the original Lion King is 90 minutes. And granted, it would probably save them a fuck ton of money to make their live action one 90 minutes.
It's not live action. It's like hyper animated CG. So technically,
it's whatever what the Jungle Book is. Same director, Jon Favreau. Anyway,
Favreau's directing The Lion King.
Yeah, isn't that kind of exciting? Like, if I'm going to be a little bit excited about it, like that's the reason.
I'm like a little bit tired of Jon Favreau.
I am too, but the Jungle Book is the best.
But I've been tired of him since Iron Man 2.
But I think the Jungle Book is the best of these. The live-action Disney remakes. And The Lion King is my favorite Disney movie. So, I don't know. There is some...
The Jungle Book was really good.
There is some sliver of hope for me for this movie.
I lean more towards Maleficent isn't a remake, so never mind.
The trailer's just gorgeous. And, like, all the voices... I mean, we only really hear James Earl Jones' voices. But, I mean, like... What's the issue with that? And you mentioned it before. This news just came out today that
Amy Sedaris is playing like a new character. So like one of the things is that everyone saw because they released the trailer to be shot by shot of the original Lion King trailer. So everyone was like, "Oh, this is going to be like a shot by shot remake." I mean, not exactly, but like like essentially it'll be shot by shot, and like they played the beats almost exactly the same. So people were like, "Oh, this is
opening sequence." Yeah.
So people were like, "Oh, this is going to be like a shot by shot remake. Like this is going to be really exciting." And then today they were like, "Fuck no, Amy Sedaris is a character. Why would you think that?"
Well, how do you feel about these Disney live action Disney remakes?
I like them. Okay,
you do?
I like them.
I hate them.
Well,
besides the Jungle Book,
I liked Beauty and the Beast.
Ugh, gosh, no.
I remember I went with Drew to see Beauty and the Beast. That was a good one. Ooh, it wasn't like no. I mean, you know what it is? Because growing up, I didn't really watch Disney movies as a kid.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I was like one of those like I was like more like into like I was into like some those weird kid cartoons, like the cartoons that kids that are like were adults in prison now. watched like mostly Cartoon Network shit.
Oh,
like
those were great.
I was so big into like, yeah, but like now those kids who were really into those shits are like in prison. Like like the kids who really loved Ed, Ed and Eddie and like used to flip their eyelids inside out in school, they're like literally doing 25 right now. I'm not one of them. I guess I skated by. Yeah, but no, like Disney wasn't like that big for me. I liked Tarzan. I was like more into like, but again, as a kid, I was watching like fucking Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin over and over and over every day.
So was I, but I also had Disney.
Yeah, but I cared more. Like Disney movies, I don't know. It was weird. Disney movies didn't really like call out to me as much. You know?
Fair enough.
It was weird. I don't know. Maybe I was just so into like George Clooney in a Batman suit that's what I was just like trying to watch always.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
What's your news item?
My news item is a very interesting one. So
I hope so.
A24, the production company, started in 2012, which has...
It's only been that long.
Yeah, A24...
They're so good.
A24 has only been out 6 years, and they have a shit ton of movies.
I watched 2 movies with my family from A24 this weekend, Hereditary and 8th Grade.
Yeah. So the cool thing about A24 is if you've watched a lot, if you've been going to the movies recently, or even if a lot of independent stuff that's gone into the circuit... You know A24. You've seen their logo. They do some fucking great shit.
Their logo pops up and it's like...
Hereditary, mid-90s, 8th Grade, or just some of the movies that
Moonlight. They brought Moonlight. They took Moonlight.
I mean, I was going to say for this year that are going into Spirit Awards, but like... Yeah, like Moonlight. Like a shit ton of shit goes in. What they did, they announced was it today or maybe it was yesterday that they announced it, that they're putting up their whole library on Candor, which is a free streaming service.
Candor. Where does one get Candor? This isn't an
It's a website. It's a website. You just go on their website.
Is there an app?
Yeah, they also have a mobile app. I was going to get into that.
Mobile app? Like, could you do it on like your Roku or like a
I think so.
gaming device?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's well, because the thing about it is it's super free. And actually, it might be mobile. I don't know if it can do Roku, but it might be mobile. You just have to put in your library card information. It's a free streaming service. A24 has put up their whole library on it.
That's so interesting.
Which is really weird because like it was so. What also another news item that kind of came out like last week, which kind of ties into this, is that certain studios were looking at sending their movies to like streaming services for like early release and things like that, just to like combat the fact that like a lot of their limited releases aren't doing as well as like major blockbusters. So they're like, let's just send it to streaming services early so that we kind of get like as much viewership as possible. And A24 was like, oh, let's send it to a free one.
Do they mean to? Do you mean that they're going to send it to theaters after the streaming service release, or
like I think same time? I think same time.
Okay.
I think a lot of people were thinking doing it same time.
That. I actually really like what Netflix did with Roma this past weekend, where they released it in theaters. First, they're releasing it in theaters. It was released in theaters, I think, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Like
yeah. It was that Wednesday because I remember people were coming into my job going, "Oh, I'm gonna go see Roma."
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah.
Good.
A couple people were like, "I'm gonna go see Roma."
Because it has this technology that's in it that's it's Dolby Atmos, but like it's for a fucking drama film.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really really good, and it's coming on Netflix I think December 14th. Preview for my recommendation that week, but like I really like what they put it in theaters first, because you have this theatrical experience that is really worthwhile for this movie that you would be robbed of if a lot of audiences had the option to watch it on the small screen the same day. So anyway,
okay, cool. Yeah, so like that was my thing.
Okay. So today we're going to review The Favorite.
I'm going to introduce
Yorgos Lanthimos.
I can't even. I can't even say his.
He's Greek. Yeah. So yeah, Josh, go ahead and introduce.
We're going to be reviewing The Favorite, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. It's written by Deborah Davis and Tony McNarma. Other movies Yorgos is known for are The Lobster. Oh, The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Did you not know that? Have you seen these?
I've seen The Killing of a Sacred Deer. I just didn't know he directed it.
Did you see The Lobster?
I did not see The Lobster.
Okay.
I've heard of it. I did
I don't like The Lobster.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
It's got Olivia Colman. It's got Emma Stone. It's got Rachel Weisz. It's got Nicholas Hoult. It was so let's start. What did you think?
Oh, Josh, I loved this movie. I loved this movie so much. It just feels like, and this goes back to actually our first episode where we were reviewing Boy Erased. We were talking about queer films that don't feel like they're made for queer people. And my God, the script here it is so searing, and it is so mean, it is so affectionate at the same time that it just, and the to be clear, the favorite is about Queen Anne as she's trying to pick like her main handmaid or maybe more of a political advisor. And it ends up being this lesbian love triangle that. And so you have this queer film and you have this script that just really, really feels like it was written to just be targeted at the gay community in terms of humor, in terms of affection, in terms of what the ending is. I loved how this movie felt pointed at our community and also had the gay romance within it.
Yeah. I was really into the movie. I was into the trailer when I saw the trailer.
Okay. Trailer's hysterical, yeah.
I'm a really huge Emma Stone fan.
Okay.
Like, since Superbad, I've been like a really big Emma Stone fan.
She's great.
Anything Emma Stone has like even touched, I'm like, oh, I'm in. I don't care. So I was really happy to see her there. I was excited. I saw Nicholas Hoult as the movie was happening. I'm a big Nicholas Hoult fan also.
Interesting.
I became a fan of his from Skins, and then just kind of like...
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's...
Watching his career unravel has been a very good one.
Yeah.
So like, and he's also like a great actor, and
I would say this was maybe his best performance.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. This movie was extremely comedic, which I mean, I didn't expect anything less, but it was, the humor here was so tongue in cheek where it could have gone. So sometimes when you have really biting humor, it can go really good or really bad for you as a film, and especially with writing and with performances.
Yeah.
Also, when you have a character who's like Queen Anne, like her character is big. Like,
yes.
You have a very big character like that, but when you have a very big character like that, that's kind of like the sun to the solar system of this film, you can easily go supernova and go really bad, and it's just like, it's too much, it's leaking on it's just horrible. They handled everyone in such an amazing way in this movie, I think.
I 100% agree.
I think that this movie did such an amazing job at, like, handling characters, the writing, the pacing, the beats of the movie. I think my only one critique, I didn't like the chapter sequences cut in between.
There was a lot of them. I think
there was 9.
Yeah, I was gonna say there
was 9
right?
chapters, and I didn't like that they put that there. I feel like a lot of times, I know when I've done it in film school, it was because I didn't have transitional connecting scenes, and I was like, I can just jump to... I'm not saying that this is what happened here. I'm just saying that's why I've used it. So to me, whenever I see them, I'm biased. Because I'm like, oh, fuck, that's why I used it. But also, it's just like, I felt like in this movie, it didn't need it.
I enjoyed a number of them, because a lot of the titles of the chapters
are lines from the film. Yeah.
Well, yes, but they're not just lines from the film, but they're very funny lines from the film. And when they're basically, these lines are introduced to you before they're said, and then when they're said, I found that really delightful. I would say you said there were 9. I think that sounds right to me too. I would say it was really delightful in about like 6 of the instances.
Yeah, I know. Like, What an Outfit was a good one. I Dreamed of Stabbing You in the Eye was a good one.
Yes.
I don't remember. I know, like, one of them was like To Stop Infection was one of them.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, they were, yeah. Okay.
I would say,
now that we are done gawking, you ready to dissect this movie?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Where
do you want to start?
Well, right now is where spoilers will happen, so
yes, there will be some spoilers.
Just pause this, go see the movie, and come back.
Yeah.
I want to start with the acting.
Okay.
100%. I want to start with the acting on this. I remember, like, as I was watching this, I was like, the first thing I want to talk about for this movie is the acting.
I agree. I think that is, you have to talk about the acting, like, pretty much first.
I think that, like, if you would have saw this cast on paper anywhere else for any other movie, you'd be like, what the fuck?
I mean, Emma Stone and Nicholas Hoult, I can see.
Emma Stone, Nicholas Hoult, yes.
Prior to this movie, I was not terribly familiar with
Olivia
Colman.
I just saw her. I remember Hot Fuzz. That's why I was like,
Hot Fuzz. I remember her character, but like other than that, I don't totally remember her character from The Lobster. I also don't really like The Lobster very much.
She was in. Les Mis, a show from 2018, not like the movie. I was like,
yeah. I mean, I know she's primarily like a Broadway actress.
Okay.
Or I forget what the English equivalent of Broadway is.
It doesn't matter. We're not in that country.
But yeah, no. And like I mean, coming from a place where, you know, I'm very familiar with Rachel Weisz, I'm very familiar with Emma Stone,
I'm very familiar with
Nicholas Hoult. Olivia Colman, I think she gives the best performance in the film.
100%.
It's really like, I really like what you said about her being like essentially the sun of this movie, because she really is, and you really, going back toward that metaphor, you really can feel her like set and
rise throughout the movie. Yeah.
And it's really, really interesting how the film weaves her in and out. There is, I would say, for the best character of the movie, who has this gigantic personality, there is an admirable amount of restraint in how much screen time she actually gets.
Yeah, so that's what I want to. Yeah, I remember I was watching this. I was like, whoa, she's in this a lot, but she's not in this a lot.
Exactly,
which is really cool. One of my favorite moments for her was when she was towards the beginning, when she asked the one dude if he looked at her. And she's screaming at him. And she's like, look at me, looks at her. She goes, how dare you? Close your eyes. And I was like, oh, okay. This is what's happening. Rachel Weisz and hers relationship throughout the movie was really good.
It was so good. It was surprisingly like tender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if it's surprisingly tender. I expected a level of tenderness, because whenever you see a character that's like hard, like Rachel Weisz's character had to be throughout the movie to everyone else, they tend to be relatively tender. And I think that like it really did touch on like this theme of like unconditional love.
Yeah.
Because these two characters have like this unconditional love.
Yes, I'd agree that there's definitely this sense of like these two would be in love no matter what time period they're in. And I think the time period they're in really almost betrays that love that they have for each other, because of who Queen Anne has to be and who Rachel Weisz's character, I'm blanking on her name right now.
She was there was Mrs. Morley and Mrs. Mulberry. Sarah Mulberry. Sarah Mulberry. Yeah, she's Sarah Mulberry.
So like the amount of time that they get to spend together on screen, and how much they really, you feel this romance in between all these like searing insults that like just burn. You can feel them burn onto the screen. It was amazing to watch, especially with like, I got to watch it with like a big gay audience, and it was really, really fun.
I saw it with a bunch of elderly people.
Were they also animatedly?
People were laughing really hard in the room.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say they were like animated. I mean, people were tickled by moments, which was good. It wasn't like a silent moment.
Well, I feel like this movie is made for gay men and old people.
It's literally made for gay men and old people. Yeah. Which was, yeah. I really loved Rachel Weisz's performance. She works very well in general. But she works very well here because she's paired with some really great writing.
Yes.
100%. I think that she delivers she's really amazing at comedic timing, and she delivers some of these lines amazingly. Like when she's like, after Queen Anne like passes out, and she's like, yeah, I heard fat and ugly, and she was like, nobody would dare but me, and I didn't. And I was like, holy fuck. Like, it's very quick. It's really quick spitfire comedy. And that's what works very well in this movie. And this is what I want to go into. It works perfectly for Emma Stone, because Emma Stone's the person that can work very well in Spitfire, but still deliver like a very toned down performance comedically. Okay. Like, Emma Stone's a real gasp actress, as I call her. Like, she works very well. She has to gasp and like
she does do
feign offense very well.
Yeah, you're right.
Like if you look at her performance in Easy A, it's mostly open mouth gasping and like real tongue in cheek cuteness, and it worked very well for her. And she did that perfectly in this movie. And I think that like the scenes with Rachel Weisz and Emma Stone together, like when they were shooting, were my favorites.
All the scenes of them shooting.
It's amazing. So biting and like real back and forth and so underhanded, but woven so beautifully.
Yes.
That I think that like it works so perfectly. I think the Emma Stone and Olivia Colman scenes, those they weren't weak, but they weren't the strongest ones, in my opinion.
I agree. I felt like they were the flattest just because you had the two women playing off of each other, and those scenes did lack a bit of the heart of the movie. As black as this movie's heart may be,
maybe it needed. You know what? No, keep going. What were you gonna finish saying?
Because, like, Emma Stone's character, I mean, she's not really in love with Queen Anne, where Rachel Weisz's is, as much as she's manipulating her. So, yeah, in some of those long, extended scenes where you get Emma Stone and Olivia Colman together, it did slow down a little. Some of the pacing in the second half for me was a little bit
It gets
shoddy.
a little wonky, yeah.
Especially when you do start getting to chapter 7, and you're like, hey, wait...
We're still here.
Okay, but I mean, like, this is such a minor quibble for a movie that strikes its tone so well, so quickly, and then runs with it and surprises you at every corner with, like, how you're feeling, what you're laughing at, and how you're feeling while you're laughing at certain things. Like there are so many transcendent moments within this that really celebrate everything that I think Lanthimos was trying to do in a way that Killing the Sacred Deer and The Lobster, I haven't seen some of his other films, but I think those two failed at what he was trying to do here. Maybe not even, I think they weren't trying to do what he was trying to do here, but I think he hits a level that he had not hit in those two films, which were very celebrated.
Yeah. I know Killing the Sacred Deer was extremely celebrated.
So was The Lobster. I forget who. I think it was like Vulture or somebody named The Lobster the best film of that year that it came out.
2015?
I really didn't like The Lobster. But I think he hits this sweet spot here, directing a script that he did not write, that gets to be very, very funny. And strikes this tone that I can't say I've seen before.
I think Nicholas Hoult's performance deserves to be celebrated also here because, again, working in this tongue-in-cheek writing was great. And I think that in a movie where women are controlling and running the motherfucking show, Nicholas Hoult, like, he holds his own very well in this film. I think that, like, he's a villain you root for just because he's an unabashed, fun villain. Yeah. Like, when he kicks Emma Stone down that fucking hill and then, like, almost immediately goes, "You okay?" Yeah. I was like, oh, that's so good. Yeah. But I also did really like that, like, this is a movie where women run the fucking show.
Yeah. Totally.
Like, these women are fucking running circles around these men. Like, these men really think they're in control of things and they're not.
Right.
My favorite character in this whole movie was that award-winning duck.
Oh my god.
Just because for some reason that duck is every fucking where.
When the duck quacks in the middle of, like, that, like, stare down, I can't say I've laughed that hard in a movie theater this year. That, like, this duck quacks off screen. I was crying. Oh my god. That's just my type of humor, but...
That duck was, like, my favorite character. First of all, it's cute as fuck. It made me want to pet duck.
Well, there's that whole scene where the guy with, like, all the wigs in this movie that the men wear are insane.
They're insane.
Like, it's literally a dick
some
contest.
Real good powdered wigs.
Actually, that is something that I did want to get into in this movie.
The costume design.
Well, yes, the costume design. I think Rachel Weisz's costumes in particular were amazing. But what I really wanted to get into is how this film really is so critical of, like, toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
And not that it's necessarily... I mean, I do think in some ways it celebrates femininity, but I don't think it's quite as unabashed celebration as, like, some other ones recently. But, like, the way it is so critical of, like, silly masculinity. The scene where they're throwing fruit at the guy who's naked, and he's just, like having a good time, too, and part of it. And, like, Emma Stone walks in and is like, what the fuck is going on? I, like, things like that I absolutely adored. The guy, like, just the way the wigs get bigger and, like, the way they're petting certain ducks and the way they're racing the ducks. The men are portrayed in this movie to be such idiots. And it is so funny in the way that it does it, because it's such, like, small little masculine tropes that the movie sends up.
But I also think it's a commentary on the time period that, like, people really thought this was a good idea.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, when that dude walked into Emma Stone's room and then he leaves and sees Nicholas Hoult.
Joe Alwyn is so hot. Let's just talk about
he's
that
like,
for a minute, too.
A man must look pretty. And Nicholas Hoult's wearing, like, this big ass fucking white powdered wig. Nicholas Hoult needs to play in more movies where he wears powdered wigs, because for some reason I'm just always gonna associate him with them.
Rocked it.
Yeah, he like rocked an otherwise not beautiful, like not cool aesthetic in my opinion. He rocked the shit out of it.
He rocked it for comedic purposes, I think. Like, he really leaned into what he was wearing as an actor. I feel like he really leaned into his costume.
Well, and I think one of the really cool things was that like this movie also like kind of shows the divisiveness between like the wigs and I don't know what the other party was with the black hair.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
There's a real, like, divide between both of those parties.
Yeah.
With Rachel Weisz being on that side and Emma Stone being on the wig side. Mm-hmm. And you don't really see that until after Emma Stone has, quote, won. Mm-hmm. If we can even call it that based on how this ending was.
Yes.
When she kind of wins and then they have that party and she's dressed in wig garb. Like powdered face, white wig, and this is the same thing she was like that she was making fun of earlier when that guy comes into her. I forgot his name already. The one that she ends
Joe
up,
Alwyn.
Yeah, but what was
really hot one?
Is he?
I think so. Look at his mouth. Look at his mouth.
I saw it like for a movie, and it was like,
but it was always covered. Hang on, I'll pull it up. You keep talking.
Okay. We kind of see like kind of like that divisiveness and like both these characters being cemented in their sides. And like I think that also one of the things that this movie does really well is that it doesn't give you like a clear right or wrong.
Oh, I mean, I think this movie leans in most of its characters being wrong.
Yeah, but then there's also like the whole like ethical ambiguity of the politics of the time.
Yeah, but I don't know how much this movie. Here's Joe Alwyn.
You think he's hot?
Josh, God damn it. He's so hot.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. I know
he's not.
He also looks like 17, whatever. But no,
he has a pancake face.
That's not true.
He so does. His face is so flat.
Oh my god. So no, but like as far as like the context of the historical context of the plot, I mean, we should bring up that like this movie is almost entirely fiction. Like Queen Anne,
yes,
is a real
100%,
person, and like the two women that Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz play are also historical. But like,
no, it's
revisionist. There was
I'm sure what the real story was Queen Anne had two female handlers who both were like, I want to be in this position, and then she was just like, meh.
Right.
And then this movie was like, let's play up on that.
Right. So as far as like how much the plot and the tone are really like going at the era's politics, I think it's more on a general level that it wants to explore gender politics and like the way manipulation converts like between like different parties and everything, as they relate to gender, I think. But I don't know how deep it really goes into the specific ideas of that era. So it feels very contemporary to me.
Does it?
Yeah, I mean, literally in all but aesthetic. It felt very contemporary to me.
Elaborate on that.
I loved that about it.
Elaborate.
Well, I think a lot of the dialogue. I mean, this movie takes place in the 17th century. Mm-hmm. These people weren't talking like this. They were. I mean, sure, yeah. Some of the. I mean, how often was cunt said in the 17th century? Maybe a lot. Maybe I don't know.
I think maybe a lot.
Maybe, but like, how
did William Shakespeare ever write the word cunt?
I do not know that.
Because I know William Shakespeare did create a lot of profanity. He made up a lot of fucking words, actually.
No, I know that, but I don't know if he ever has written the word cunt. I feel like they wouldn't tell you that.
Because I feel like cunt wasn't like a 70s profanity.
No, cunt is like having its resurgence like now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's good.
It's a fun word.
It's a really fun word. I really like the word cunt.
Well, and every time they say it in this movie, I was like, I got a little thrill.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, like, I feel like the dialogue and the way that the film portrays, even the way that the film like shows these women knowing how to pleasure each other and everything, it just felt very, very contemporary to me.
Yeah, I thought that when she rolled her in the room in the wheelchair and she was like, fuck me, I was like, I love probably not a phrase that would have been said then, but okay.
No, exactly. That's exactly what I mean. I also love that scene so much.
I think the best thing about that scene to me was Emma Stone looking on, like, what the fuck is happening
Oh, I
here?
agree.
What is happening on tonight? I just wanted to read a book.
But not even from a moment, like I never felt that Emma Stone's character was looking on for a moment of judgment, but as a moment of opportunity.
I think she was looking, at first she was looking at it in a moment of confusion is what I found.
Shock. Yeah, of
where
course.
she kept, I wasn't thinking judgment, I think she was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Right,
Like,
no, yeah.
She was like, I was just in this room reading a book and now the queen and my cousin are fucking.
Right.
Ugh.
But
what is happening?
But like, there's no moment where I'm like, this character is homophobic.
I never thought that at all.
Yeah, which is so, like, for a period piece that's set like hundreds of years ago. That's kind of incredible. Not that this is like a true, like wholly a true story or anything, but like the amount of like just general manipulation of gay characters here is really, really smart, and it's not offensive, and it uses the period, of course, to be like, hey, yeah, like if everyone found out about Queen Anne's romance, like, yeah, probably wouldn't be great for her. But like, as far as the main cast is concerned, none of them felt like they were that prejudiced.
Yeah,
which is something that I weirdly appreciated. It felt refreshing. I don't know.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. There was something else I wanted to talk about, and I already forgot.
Did you want to go in deeper with the costumes?
I did. Yes. There we go. That's what I was going to do. So, one of the things I really do enjoy is wardrobing and costume design. Just because I'm a really big fan of, like, fashion and things like that. I'm a gay dude that loves drag queens, so naturally, fashions on the screen are one of my things that I'm in love with. And so, each character is sort of, like, given like a set of costumes.
Yes.
And like, it's like, because like Rachel Weisz's shooting costumes are always the same way Emma Stone's shooting costumes are always the same. Queen Anne has that announcement dress, that big white one.
Oh my god, all of Queen Anne's dresses are like, they're like part of the comedy.
Yeah, which are gorgeous. When she like rolls up her like thing and shows her like leg cast and it's like bedazzled.
Oh my god.
Like this movie's fucking fabulous. Like even like the men's costumes are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, literally I kept looking at like Nicholas Hoult's outfits and going, I think I want to do this next year for Halloween.
Should we do a combined favorite costume? I'll be Rachel Weisz in her like general outfit, and you can be anyone else.
Oh my god, no, but like just looking at like the costumes here were like really good, and it's like each side has a color scheme, and like Nicholas Hoult's like the wigs have this white and blue, while the other party has like the dark hair and the red, and like Rachel Weisz's character wears a lot of black, and like she wears a lot of blacks and browns. And like Emma Stone, like,
but it's very Rachel Weisz's costumes are very sleek. They're very masculine.
Well, everyone's costumes are very corseted very well. Yeah. Rachel Weisz's are the loosest of the corsets when it comes to the female characters, which is one of the things I note. Again, I can spot things like that. Yeah. Her corset is the loosest. And I think one of the reasons why is also because they really played up their own overworld here in a very good way, where it's like, if you are Rachel Weisz's character that has to do the most movement, you wouldn't be corseted as tight as everyone else all these other women who don't move as much as you.
Correct.
Like, okay, so when you look at everyone's status here, because again, they have their own like status system that works, and when it comes to like lordship and like these women who are like in the lordship, technically Rachel Weisz's character falls in that exact same category because she's the general wife, so she would fall into that lordship, but she doesn't dress like any of them and she's not even like, she's the advisor to the queen, but technically she has she has political power in that she speaks for the queen when needed, but if you think about the world of that time and the positions in place, she technically doesn't have one in the monarchy.
Right.
So she would again be just like in that lordship, but because she and the queen have this connection, her outfits kind of are an elevated version of all these other this lordship female dresses. Like if you look at the immediate thing Emma Stone's character begins to wear once she like marries the guy in the army,
Joe Alwyn, the Hotman.
Quote. The dresses she begins to wear again with those women, their color schemes are a lot of whites and grays. Their corsets are tighter. But the thing is, Rachel Weisz's dresses are the exact same design with a looser corset and a darker color scheme. So it's like this film does a really good job at separating characters based on colors and the way your outfits look.
I mean, it sounds like you picked up on a lot more of these things than I did.
Oh yeah, whenever I watch a movie, I'm one of those people, like, I'm scanning. Like, it's like I can listen to the words being said, but literally I'm like scanning every corner and like trying to find similarities.
I mean, with Emma Stone's character, I mean, obviously she evolves from essentially like the level of a peasant to like a lord type thing. But I really liked how her costumes varied the most, and it felt like it was partially because of like a lack of identity that she just has. Like, I feel like even when she gets into power, you don't really see that much consistency with what she's wearing. Simply because I feel like she doesn't know who she's supposed to be in this area.
Yeah, well, no, because remember, she was in the lordship before, and then her family fell. Right. I think the reason why and I agree with you that her outfits changed the most. I got it. I took a different approach as to why.
Interesting.
I think throughout this movie, she's playing every side. So based on the side she was with, is how the costume changed so that it could be a dramatic difference in whichever place she's in. Okay. The only time that she was really uniformed was in the beginning when she was a maid, because they had a maid's uniform. Right. But besides that, I think that whenever she was with other people, she was dressing differently. Like, I noticed that, like, when she's with Sarah, Rachel Weisz's character, she's wearing darker colors. But when she's with Queen Anne, a lot of her outfits are lighter colored.
Okay, so maybe it's less of Emma Stone's character looking for identity than manipulating her identity. It's 100%
manipulating her identity. Because remember when she goes to the Queen and she's wearing like her night slip, but it's like over the shoulder. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, that's clearly, again, manipulating the identity that she has just to get what she wants when she wants in that moment. Because she wears that exact same slip when she's with her husband in bed on their marital night. But God, I love that scene. The shoulders are pushed almost close to her collarbone, almost as if it's like a turtleneck in bed.
Yeah, totally.
So I was like, oh,
interesting.
Like, that's the first thing. That was one of the things I looked at. I was like, holy shit. I see the game she's playing, and she's definitely in it. And then once she gets married, that scene when Sarah comes back from that whorehouse after like disappearing. Yes. By the way,
that eye patch thing.
Well, even before that, when she still has the scar, by the way, she's dressed like a pirate.
Yeah, she is.
She's in pants. That was one of the only times she was in pants in this movie, by the way.
Yeah.
And that's one moment. She's like in pants and boots.
Wait,
and
Rachel Weisz?
Yeah.
She's in pants like every shooting scene too.
Well, every shooting scene, yes, but the shootings, again, so very... Yes, you're right. Very cool thing about that is that the shooting scenes in that scene, she's in pants, and those are also the scenes that she has where her and Emma Stone are technically battling.
Yes, of course.
So each battling scene with Emma Stone, she's wearing pants.
But Emma Stone's not.
That's so smart. Oh,
it's so, and then this movie is so intelligent. This movie is
so fucking smart.
Yeah, no, I always, like, when I was watching it, Rachel Weisz reminded me of, like, the type of relationship that, like, had been rumored for, like, Dick Cheney and George W. Bush. Not in terms of like a gay lover.
Oh, like, Dick Cheney was definitely sliding Bush the finger. I'm hoping in Vice. I'm so hoping in Vice. Christian Bale has a scene where he's fingering Sam Rockwell. Oh my God. Adam McKay, if you will ever listen to this, and if the universe works in my favor, Adam McKay, please I know this movie's done. Let's just add a scene and throw it in there.
I think it just screened for critics like last week.
It screened for critics 2 days ago.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
The first SAG-AFTRA screening was like 2 days ago because one of my friends, he's in the SAG and he was at the screening.
Interesting. I'm dying to know what people think.
Yeah, me too.
But no, back to this movie. Like, I feel like she kind of had that semblance of power over him, over her, Queen Anne. But it was done from such a level of affection. But like all her clothing was reminiscent to me, unless the plot, unless the situation required her to be a woman. She was very much like a general.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. She looked so badass.
She looked very badass throughout this whole movie.
And you get to Emma Stone, who's all her character does is really manipulate and ascend. But she doesn't win. So I do want to talk about the ending, because the ending is I had trouble unpacking it, I think, as I was leaving the theater.
It's really I'm happy that
Yeah.
it's good that we're about to talk about the ending.
Yeah,
okay,
let's talk about the ending.
cool. So what did you have an issue unpacking when it came to the ending?
Well, I mean, I just felt like it's not that it wasn't necessarily unsatisfying, and I get that the point is that no characters here are supposed to win.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder, like, what exactly does the ending say about the rest of the movie? What do you think?
Well, one of the cool things for me, what I took from the ending was that at this point for Queen, number one, Olivia Colman's playing up a stroke victim was amazing. It made my left arm feel numb. Watching her just drop her arm onto herself, I was like, holy fuck.
How'd she do that to her face?
That's what I know they did cheek prosthetics maybe.
Okay.
But the whole half of the mouth thing, I was like, I'm hoping she didn't actually glue half of her lip together.
It was incredible.
Because some people would, like, Daniel Day-Lewis would glue his lip together if he was doing it. I was like, I'm hoping not, because that fucking hurts to get taken apart. But, so the very last scene, for the most part, is... So, one of the things about Queen Anne is that she's had 17 miscarriages, or some stillborns, and every time she's had one, she's gotten a rabbit, and those rabbits are her children, so she has 17 rabbits. That was one of the things that made her and Emma Stone's character connect to each other. And at the very last scene, Sarah gets banished, and Emma Stone is left as the Queen's main handler. Not in the same way, she's really just like a servant. But, like, Queen Anne's in bed, she wakes up and sees Emma Stone reading, like, squishing one of the rabbits, and then she, like, stands up and makes Emma Stone finger her. Yeah. But, that's like, the last scene of the movie. It's the very last scene of the movie, and I think that, like... So the thing about it is that, firstly, there was the loss of affection that Queen Anne had throughout the whole movie. Yeah. Because she had this affection for both of these characters, but I took it as the main... Like, Sarah Marbury, though hard, and, like, icy... was at Queen Anne Morley's heart throughout the movie in general. And with Sarah being banished, so has the heart. Because there's no reason for her to have affection towards anyone anymore. Okay. This is like her dearest friend.
So what does that say about...
Well, there was that loss of affection. Now Emma Stone's trapped. It's kind of like the be careful what you wish for. What Emma Stone wanted, Emma Stone wasn't ready for. In that she thought that she would just get this lordship and it would be easy, and then she'd be able to get drunk and party however she'd like and do whatever she wants.
That's true of all of them, I'd say, actually.
What?
That none of them were prepared for what they wanted when they got it. Like, everyone.
Well, Sarah was. I think Sarah was. Because even when those horses were coming, she was
not really. I feel like she starts the movie with what she wants, and then she wasn't prepared for it, and then she lost it.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
When the movie starts, she's essentially ruling the kingdom. Mm-hmm. Under the guise of Queen Anne and just advising her, like, speaking in her ear. Mm-hmm. So I feel like when the movie starts, she has it. Like she has the relationship. She has her same sex lover. She has all the power in the kingdom. She dresses like a fucking bamf. So I feel like when the movie starts, she's on top of the world, and you have this slow come down of this character who you eventually start to feel like I felt mountains of affection for her by the end. Yeah. When you're not introduced to her that way. But, so, like, she has that at that point, and then you get to the point where Olivia Colman has exactly what she wants, probably in the second act, where, she's trading between the two women, and they're both pining after her. And then Emma Stone gets what she wants briefly, very briefly, once she's, in like, being drunk and everywhere, and just, like, kind of having fun. The fun and games section of Emma Stone's character arc, if you will. And then kind of because of all the power that they've abused with each other, none of them end up with what they want, really. Yeah. Interesting.
But I also think that, like, there's also shown, like, Emma Stone's now a prisoner in the place that she thought would give her the most freedom.
She's a prisoner of Queen Anne's vagina.
Well, not only that, I mean, she wanted to move into this palace and wanted to be a lord and the life that she had before, where she felt at most in prison, was when she was, because remember, before she ended up at the palace, she was like living with that, as she called, the round German man,
right?
And who she convinced that her period was 28 days a month.
Oh my god,
which is amazing. But like, that was what she thought was a prison, and now she's kind of back.
Right.
Essentially in the same thing. Not that Queen Anne is a round German man, but she's a rounder woman. Like, she's trapped in a place where, again, now she's a sex slave again.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. She goes full circle. The other two lose.
Yes, but then I also don't think Sarah Marbury loses as hard as Queen Anne does. Because...
well, she gets away. But I
Sarah
mean,
Marbury,
look at how much she's lost the kingdom that she fought for so long. She's lost her lover, somebody she genuinely felt love for. Like, she loses... like... There is Rachel Weisz's whimsical delivery of her last line where it's like, I think it's time to go, or, you know, whatever. I wouldn't say that's a disservice to the character, but it doesn't quite fall in line with how the movie feels at that moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And like Queen Anne loses because now she has to run a kingdom that she knows nothing about.
So what is satisfying about a movie where all these characters that we do genuinely care about, besides Emma Stone, I mean, you're not supposed to, I don't think, but besides all these characters, like in a movie with all these characters that you are genuinely supposed to care for, what is the satisfaction that comes from all of them losing?
Oh, easy. The satisfaction that comes from all of them losing is the fact that, like, you watch this movie kind of... it's weird. I kind of watched this movie expecting at least two of them to lose.
Oh, yeah, of course. I would say that's probably accurate.
It's a lot more satisfying when all three of them lose.
I guess.
Because this movie isn't framed as a romance.
No.
You don't expect everyone to lose in a romance.
Right.
The tone of this movie, you kind of know, you think everyone's going to lose. Like, to be honest with you...
well, because you feel everything coming down throughout the whole movie for every character.
Oh, everyone's unraveling and I think that's what makes this movie work so well, is that everyone's sort of unraveling throughout the movie. Emma Stone is unraveling throughout the movie, and I think in a very beautiful way. I mean, mentally, she's like total nut job by the end of the movie. I mean,
that's true.
She's giving this dude a hand job and like looking around the room paranoid that like Sarah's gonna burst through the door at any second, even though Sarah's like unconscious at a whorehouse somewhere.
Yeah.
And like the way that every character sort of unravels slowly throughout the movie, and then like the unraveling speeds up towards the end of Act 2 into Act 3, and then by Act 3 we just have this shit on the floor. Like, everything
it feels like it gets there.
Yeah, you're like, man, how did this kingdom survive? I'm like, these are
I know.
In my head I was like, these are the people who took over the world?
Yeah, exactly.
At some point, I'm like, this
was pretty close to the point where like the U.S. colonies, left and became their own thing.
Yeah, I was like, I can see why. I was like, I can see I can see why if this was it.
Yeah, yeah, no, totally. It really shows like how silly a monarchy kind of is.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else that you wanted to bring up?
It's really interesting that finally we have a movie that we really like, and I don't have like a lot to say.
Well, I mean, I feel like we covered a lot, and we really got into it.
We really did get into it. You're right about that. Is there any? I mean, final words on the favorite for me? If you're on the fence about seeing it, go see it. This is one of those movies I think I can see multiple times. I can't wait for it to come out.
Yeah.
On digital
release or
on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, true.
Like, I'm gonna get a physical. I want a physical copy of it.
Wow.
I think that streaming services sometimes are really unreliable with the way movies come and go. And this is one of those movies that like.
I mean, you see my library right now.
Yeah. I mean, this is just one of those movies that like I know for a fact I'm gonna want to watch a lot.
Same. I do. I think this is a movie that I might even revisit it in theaters. I'm hoping it'll get a wide release around Christmas time so that I can be like, Mom and Dad, come with me to watch The Favorite.
I think I'm gonna go see it in theaters again too. Well, I'm definitely gonna go see it in theaters again because I want to take Drew. He was out of town, so no, we're gonna go to a Regal. I might as well just get. So I was thinking about this when I was in the theater. I was like, I might as well just get the Regal Crown Club situation because
they do have something
the movie theater that I'm at the most is a Regal.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I'm either at Union Square, like the movie theater that I've been to the last like 8 times I've been to the movies are either Union Square or Battery Park.
Fair enough.
With it 7 of those being Battery Park.
Okay, so
6 because I saw Suspiria at Union Square. Well, anyway,
how many huffs are you going to give The Favorite?
How many? Did we do this out of 5?
Out of 5, yeah.
I'm gonna give this 4.5.
Okay.
And the only reason why half of a huff is gonna be taken away here is because I think that like you start to feel the time in this movie.
Yes.
In the middle of it, like towards like the middle end point, like the end of Act 2, you start to feel time.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And it's really funny how normally I sit down and try to rewrite movies. I don't even know how I could have rectified this. But you start to feel the time in this movie. Maybe I would have...
A little bit.
Or maybe I would have cut out a couple of the sequences of the chapter sequences just so it feels... Because when you see like a chapter 8 in a movie, you're like, whoa, fuck.
It does.
If he would have cut a couple, if a couple of these would have been cut out, and this could have been like a 5 chapter situation, maybe the time wouldn't have been felt so much. So
I think I agree.
So that could have been
It's not like the chapters have such dramatic shifts in tone either.
No,
but
not at all.
Such I mean, for me personally, that's such a nitpick. I was also thinking of giving this a 4.5. But I'm gonna bump it right up to 5.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna give
ding
this
ding
a
ding ding ding.
full 5 huffs.
We have 5 huffs.
Honestly, it was our conversation. The more I think about this movie, the more I'm liking it, and that makes me think that the next time I watch it, like this movie it's just gonna ascend to that level. So no, I'm at a full 5 huffs in anticipation that this movie is really gonna do a lot for me the second time I watch it.
Okay.
Because it just feels. You saw it. When did you see it?
I saw it yesterday.
I saw it like last Tuesday. So I'm a little bit more removed from it, and it is sitting nicely in here. Let me tell you. So I'm like really excited to like fish, like fish. That
we went full circle.
That will make all my bottoming needs come true. So yeah, full 5 huffs from me.
Did you like the little affectation I did when you said 5 huffs? Right?
Oh, I loved it.
I think we should. I think I'm gonna try and
every show.
No, try to like create an actual like sound effect for whenever something gets 5 huffs.
We should. Should it just be that?
Like you know, like that straight mating call you hear at the club when like DJs play a song.
And
like, the heterosexual mating call.
It can't be anything straight.
I would love it.
What could we do? It could be like it could be Britney Spears in that song where she goes.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's kind of like huffing.
That's break the ice, but I'm not going to pay for that. So you know what it could be? We could actually get a sound effect of someone actually hitting Popper. Like a real hard one, but like let's try to get like if we can get like someone to hit 5 at once and just like record that.
I'll just like start like I'll be like grabbing the mic and like speaking directly into it, like licking it a little.
Oh God, ew! I just wanted the sound effect. I don't want to.
A little crazy.
So you gonna lick the microphone? I wouldn't lick the microphone.
I might lick it.
Nice microphone. I wouldn't lick that.
All right, Josh. What this week is your recommendation?
It's so actually interestingly enough. Not interestingly enough. Never mind. Fuck that. But I'm also doing a movie that's totally fiction, but from a different time period.
Oh, okay.
So it's The Little Hours.
Okay.
I've completely forgot who directed it.
I don't know the director's name either.
I can tell you right now. But it's got Aubrey Plaza. It's got Alison Brie. It's got Dave Franco. It's directed by Jeff Baena. The name sounds.
Oh yeah, Molly Shannon was in it too.
Yeah, Molly Shannon, John C. Reilly, Aubrey Plaza, Kate Masucci, Dave Franco, Alison Brie. Fred Armisen does have a tiny role in it. Fred Armisen's really good. So basically, it's a movie that takes place in like the 1300s. It's about a bunch of like nuns in a convent, and Dave Franco's character runs away from like the place where he was working because someone's after him, and he's pretty much placed in like this nunnery as like a deaf mute, so he can't speak to any of the women, but like all the women are finding him intriguing. It's just like a really weird fucking comedy, but it's great.
It's so funny.
Like it's so funny. Like Aubrey Plaza. I mean, think about Alison Brie and Aubrey Plaza as nuns. Think about John C. Reilly as a priest, and then like. Then put that in the time. Just throw in the 1300s and bam.
This movie came out in what, 2016?
I can tell you right now. I feel like it might have been 16. I saw it for the first time last week.
Okay.
Came out 2017.
Okay. I remember seeing it in theaters with a bunch of my queer friends actually, and it was just like a hell of a time. I really enjoyed this movie too. Actually, this is your first recommendation, I think, that I've been like gung ho about, because I do also really really love The Little Hours.
It's so good.
Yeah,
it's on I didn't even tell you. It's for my Amazon babies. It's on Amazon
too this week,
baby. I feel really bad though, because I like a lot of my choices. Well, last week was Hulu, but a lot of my choices have been on Amazon. So I'm gonna try to not force myself, but I'm gonna challenge myself to find more Netflix things. So I feel like Netflix is a little bit more accessible for people.
That's fair.
I feel like a lot more people are more out of all the ones that we've suggested. I think Amazon is the least accessible. Very accessible still, but I feel like the least.
I feel like the least amount of people probably have Hulu.
Really? I always felt like it would be like Netflix, Hulu, and then Amazon.
Well, a lot of people do Amazon Prime for the shipping.
Oh, fuck yeah, you're right.
Yeah. My recommendation is also on Amazon Prime on December 1st, which is this upcoming Saturday. All 3 of the Naked Gun movies are going to be on Amazon Prime.
Nice.
And now, let me tell you, dear listener, I love Leslie Nielsen. Leslie Nielsen hits my funny bone just in all the right ways. Okay, Josh, that's not how I meant it. He's dead. For God's sakes, he's dead.
You should go get tested for that one. See a doctor about that.
But I especially wanted to highlight, because I mean everyone loves the first Naked Gun, but I do want to highlight the kind of underrated sequels. They're like the second, it's like Naked Gun 2.5 and then Naked Gun like 33 and a third or whatever. They're these ridiculous titles. I think a lot of people have slept on them.
I think they're very slept on movies.
They are funnier than you remember. I mean, the first one is obviously great, and you should watch the first one too. But the sequels, they're funnier than you remember.
I'm gonna definitely give that a watch.
So yeah, that's my recommendation for this week.
It's really funny. I think I've only seen the first Naked Gun.
Well, Josh, I don't know if you were just listening, but
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm definitely gonna.
No, you should. No,
I'm like, I know I'm gonna watch. I'm watching Buster Scruggs tomorrow. Like I have.
It's really good.
I've made plans with my life to watch Buster Scruggs tomorrow after I beat Let's Go Pikachu. After I beat it, and then I'm just gonna go right into Buster Scruggs, and then next time you see me, I will have a finished screenplay.
Tomorrow?
Oh yeah. No, I meant next week.
Oh, okay.
But I will have a finished screenplay. But yes,
That's so exciting.
That is really it's really the first draft, but it's still gonna be like on the other side of the finish line.
Cool.
It's super exciting. Yeah, I'm so excited about that. Yeah.
Cool.
Speaking of plugging things.
Yeah, I'm going to plug something. I mean, I don't know how many listeners we have now. I have to do research on that. But tomorrow, actually today when this comes out, I'm going to be at Metropolitan Bar for their monthly tips party. Which is a bunch of queer writers getting together to do readings at Metropolitan's. Metropolitan's one of the grimiest bars in Brooklyn.
Disgusting.
Let's be real. But this is a nice little party to do. I just discovered it and I wrote a piece for it. I'm going to do a reading tomorrow night. So tomorrow night at 9:00, if you're around in the Brooklyn, New York area and you want to come listen to me read a little story about my sex life, I'll be at Metropolitan.
Do you think by the time people hear this, it will have already happened?
No. Yes, maybe. I don't know. It's a plug. I should have plugged it last week, but I didn't. So here we are, just in case.
Look, I was just doing the math in my head, and I was like, we're recording this on Monday.
Well, we're getting it out tomorrow.
The reading is on Tuesday.
Yeah.
People are probably not going to listen to this until Tuesday night.
We'll see.
Or Wednesday.
Well.
Where then the reading will have already happened.
Well, I'm throwing it on there anyway.
But what I will do, I will try to take this piece of audio that you've just plugged and put it on social media alone.
Oh God, what are you going to do to me?
As a form of promoting the way that should have been done last week.
Fine. You can do that if you want. All right, so this has been Poppers and Popcorn.
This has been Poppers and Popcorn.
Our next episode will be about Anna and the Apocalypse, a Christmas zombie musical from the Brits.
Yes, I am cool with that. I was going to say excited, but I'm
excited. I can't wait to see it.
I remember seeing the trailer and going, okay.
Josh, where can we find you on Twitter and Instagram?
You can find me on Twitter, on the Instagrams. On Twitter, I'm at JAYRANOSAURUS. I feel like I spell it differently every time, but it's at Jranosaurus. If you know how to spell the dinosaur's name,
can we find you on Twitter by typing in Bumlee?
You could. So the joke from that was just because when Nicki Minaj dropped Chun Li, I was like, oh, cool. What if my name was like Bum Lee? Like, what if? Because I was like, I'm like the homeless Chun Li. This is beautiful. And then you can find me on, as you can see, I have the shittiest sense of humor. If you can find me on Instagram at @great_it's Josh. Like, oh, great, it's Josh. Except unless you're my family, and then you're like, oh, great, it's Josh.
Apparently.
So, yeah.
That's Thanksgiving.
Where can we find you? Besides the back alley at the Rosemont.
Hey, the back alley of the Rosemont is my apartment.
I literally.
On Twitter, I'm at Dr_Dougherty. That's Dr_DOUGHERTY. And on Instagram, I am at Cotter318. 318. However you want to
So
say
how do you spell sea otter?
It's SEA suck my ass.
Well, no, I'm just saying because like
318.
to some people listening, because some people would be like the letter C and then otter.
SEAOTT.
So it's SEA. Okay, I was doing that to help you out.
Suck my.
Oh my
ass.
god, I was doing that to help you. I was trying to be kind with that one.
And if you want to send us any mail, we are at poppers and popcorn and spelled out at gmail.com. Poppers and popcorn at gmail.com and spelled out. I like the way I said it. It's
so it's a POPPERSANDPOPCORN at gmail.com.
There's so many P's.
Oh my god. I know it's like a vegetable platter.
All right. This has been Poppers and Popcorn. We will see you next Tuesday.
All right, bye guys. Don't die.